pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Father God, thank you so much for the community we live in. We thank you for how helpful we are, how helpful our citizens are to each other and to the departments here serve. We ask for your continued hand of protection on our police, our fire, our service, administration, our school system.
That's just wrong. It's so news.
All right, good evening, everybody. Janelle, please call the roll.
Mr. Ziegler. Mr. Fenstermaker.
Here.
Mr. Hamer.
Here.
Mr. Scholes.
Here.
Ms. Grazia. Here. Mr. Smolik.
Here.
Ms. Simons.
Here.
Okay, moving on to the reading and approval of the minutes of the February 2nd, 2026 work session meeting.
Motion to approve, adopt and approve.
Need a second?
Second.
Are you good?
Got to change?
Okay, all right, Mr. Smolik with a motion to adopt. Sue with a second. Janelle, please call, any discussion? Janelle, please call the roll.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Mr. Hamer.
Yes.
Mr. Scholes.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia.
Yes.
Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to the minutes of the February 2nd, 2026 council meeting.
Any changes or corrections?
Any changes or corrections?
Council President. Correct. Paragraphs 1, 2, 3, paragraphs 4 and 5 of the legislation. I don't know where it's from. Packets, paragraphs what, 3, 4, 5? Paragraphs 4 and 5.
I think.
February 2nd council meeting, paragraph 3.
4. I went back and I watched the video. A little garble in the video. The minutes of.
Time out.
We voted on something.
We had the motion in there to revise the 218 meeting to 217. We talked about that. Right. Okay. I missed that too then.
Hold on 1 second.
That wasn't the standing committees, work session minutes.
That was the 12th.
No, we did not. We voted on February 2nd. Police and Fire Standing Committee, October 20th and November 5th. Planning and Zoning, Utilities, Service Department, Standing Committee minutes.
They must not.
So it appears to be in there.
Okay.
So if delete paragraphs 4 and 5. Okay. Does anybody have any objections to that?
No objections.
So, because their minutes looks a little bit different, it would be approved as modified.
Okay.
So I'd like the motion approved as modified to strike and 5.
Second.
Any further discussions? Okay, Janelle, please call the roll.
Mr. Fenstermaker,
Yes.
Mr. Hamer,
Yes.
Mr. Scholes, Ms. Grazia,
Yes.
Mr. Smolak,
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to department reports. We'll start right down there. Chief?
Thank you, Council President. I don't have any formal report tonight, but I'm open for questions.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Chief Colleen this evening? Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Look at that. Okay, good to know. All right. Lieutenant Fisher?
Good evening, Council President and council members. I've been in the process of reviewing civil service rules and city ordinances in my preparation for my transition, and I've identified several that I would like to amend or adopt new. So I guess I'm respectfully requesting potentially a safety committee force meeting so we can kind of discuss those for preparation to present to council. Is that possible?
It's absolutely possible. It's whoever is a standing committee for police and fire.
Mr. Schultz, and then myself, and
An hour just to present you guys with I'll have everything written out for you, and then I'd be open for further discussion as to, I'm sure it would be the why.
Okay, so Mayor, March 2nd, Bruce, we're gonna have probably a finance meeting.
And Parks.
And didn't you schedule something?
do we have another one scheduled, Joe? Did we have one more scheduled?
Parks and Recreation?
Parks and Recreation is scheduled for March
I
2nd.
don't think I did.
Yeah.
Is that before, that was earlier?
At 5:30.
Is any of
Yeah.
it urgent, or could it wait until, like,
After the budget.
yeah, after the budget gets passed and then, or is there anything on there that you have concern about that we want to cover soon?
I think the time frame it's not urgent. I would like to for sure get one taken care of prior to the Strawberry Festival because it directly supports that safety mission.
April 6th? Part of the April 6th meeting?
You could do it and if legislation needs to be written, it won't go 3 readings. It'd be tight to go 3 readings if we do April 6th.
We've been prepared the second week of April.
Yeah.
Second week.
Again, it's tight.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying it's tight. I mean, you guys can certainly do that. I'm just saying that's tight to pass legislation.
Is anything after the next meeting? Not going to be, probably won't be a long meeting for the second reading. Want to do it after?
On March 16th,
Also,
March 2nd, after the meeting.
March 2nd after the meeting. That's a good point.
sorry, but if only one of them applies to the Strawberry Festival and the other ones could wait, then hypothetically, we could review all of them knowing that the one may have to not go 3 readings in order to pass.
I
Like, there's
can-
only one of them that we
Compensation? No.
I can absolutely prepare all this stuff way in advance for that meeting so we can hit the ground running if that's what you prefer.
I guess my point is, like, if we wait till the April 6th, I know we're cutting it close, but we're cutting it close on one of a handful of them because the other ones, if we don't, it's not like we're trying to pass 7 things and we're trying to fast track 7 things through not doing 3 readings. So if we only have one that's going to apply to the Strawberry Festival and may not have 3 readings, I think we're still safe with April 6th. Am I making sense?
Yeah, the Strawberry Festival is
Yeah, it's Father's Day weekend, the second weekend in June.
And just for clarification, one is an adoption of a new ordinance. The other are just amendments to current ordinances already on the books.
Okay.
So it's not reinventing the wheel, it's just modernizing it to industry standards.
I'm open for April 6th. I don't have my schedule in front of me, but I'll make it work. I'd like to do, a 5:30, 6:30, March 6th, April 6th.
Do you think you need an hour? I mean, basically, than what he's telling me, do you think you need an hour, or do you need 30 minutes?
If I give it to you in advance and you tell me you're good with 30 minutes, whatever time you can spare me, I'll take. So I'm going to get you the stuff in advance and then you can.
Look at an
I'm
hour.
just looking at time for you. If you want if you want to do, an hour, that's fine. But if he's just got legislation that he wants to make some modifications to, and then one new one, I think you can do that in 30 minutes.
I'll stay an hour, 2 hours, whatever you need, man.
Yeah, I prefer a half hour. We can through it pretty quickly. So that's at 6 p.m., April 6th. Police and fire standing to ordinance review for the police department.
I'm going to be the jerk that just points this out. That's the last day of Kirtland spring break. It's not a problem for me, but is it a
Certainly
problem
not a
for anybody
problem.
else
It's
with
not a
kids
problem for
or
me.
whatever to be there for that meeting? Okay. We're good.
What time, Matt?
Yeah. We'll send Mark.
Yeah. He's like, my wife will tell me if I can be there, right?
Lieutenant, anything else this evening?
No, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Mr. Finaro.
Good evening, everybody. As usual, I'd like to thank our crews for doing an excellent job with putting up with that weather, that little cold stretch we had. Also, they're out there now taking advantage of the nice weather, doing some line of sight trimming, some cold patch repair, and yes, we need to do cold patch this time of year. It's the only option, so I think that had to be said. February in Northeast Ohio, there's not many options to patch holes, so it's currently what we could use. And with that, I will end my report. I'd like to thank the mayor, Councilman Hamer, Smolik, and Mr. Fenstermaker for coming up to the garage and spending some time and going over our capital needs, so appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's up there, and thanks for the organization, Joe.
Yep, thanks for the time. Hey, Mr. Finaro, when you get an opportunity, you go down Billings Road, the north side of it, it's taken some big hits based on the heavy trucks. Specifically, remember I told you where they ran into my ditch and almost taken out my driveway a couple times? We put those stakes up, but I've noticed that edge of the pavement has sunk and cracked, and it's pretty significant.
So yeah, the winter is taking a toll on
I
our
know.
roads. If you haven't noticed, Eagle Road, I've been spending a lot of time on Eagle Road lately. So we've had a frozen sanitary line over there that me and Mr. Courtney have been dealing with. We were back out there again today. The crews have been working hard on that also.
Understood.
Where you talking, the,
That section from Eagle East is really taking a beating on the edge of the road.
Yeah,
from 306 through the first curve there?
So there's gonna be a lot of crack sealing going on this year.
okay. Billings all the way up towards 306, that entire north side just took a beating. It really did. So I'm just worried about it, breaking off and then having more issues. That's all.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Finaro this evening?
Joe, any issues with, we keep hearing about ice damming because of how cold it's been. Any issues with any of the buildings as far as ice damming goes?
No, so we do still have a sensor down in the river by Kirtland Chardon. It has breached 4 feet a couple times. I still get those emails. Unfortunately, Kirtland Hills is not going to renew this year. So we're splitting the cost with Kirtland Hills for that sensor. So I don't know if we're going to go forward with it because they're backing out. So it is kind of expensive. So it's still up in the air with me and Mr. Courtney if we're going to keep it.
Interesting. So Kirtland Hills is backing out of that sensor?
They are, yeah. It's been 3 years. I think we've been going on 3 years now with it.
Ms. Simons, did you say buildings? Ice damming in
I was
buildings?
talking about ice damming on buildings, but yeah.
It's okay.
No ice damming on buildings, sorry.
Buildings and buildings,
It's fine. It was an important update, so.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Mr. Finaro. There's no other questions for Mr. Finaro. Mr. Courtney?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. No formal report tonight, a couple of updates. We did get a formal plan submission for the Tibbetts Road property, so we're getting that reviewed. And Joe and I are still working on Wisner, the Wisner Wall. So that concludes my report. Happy to take any questions.
Mr. Courtney, Mr. Blackmaker walked us through some of the capital requests. There was, I believe, $104,000 for culverts. You identify culverts?
Yeah, but not off the top of my head. Joe and I have that list.
Secondly, and I think I brought this up a few years ago, but just as we know, we have bad winters and guardrails do get hit, and just driving through our city and looking at the shape of our guardrails, not only do they not meet current standards, I don't expect them to, but it's as old as ours. We had quite a few very shape. And kind of a citywide look. Guardrails are always in our budget. It's always asked for funding. We do reach out. We've had 2 meetings, right, Mayor, with ODOT to try to get them to kick in a little bit on our state routes, and it was a flat no. So I will keep pushing District 12 to see if we can get some funding. We did have a guardrail hit up on 6 going into Chardon, so that one will get fixed through insurance. But I agree, we do have to look into our guardrails, but I'm trying to find some funding for them somewhere. You recall there was, pardon me, thank you, Matt. Some work that was done on the north side here near Kirtland Road in terms of guardrail, but appreciate that. I just, some you see some really rough shape. I don't know how well they'll. I might as well throw in their signs too, because I know if you asked me in the past about, upgrading our signs, it's always in the funding. It's just if that gets funded or not. We do replace signs a little bit as we go on, but again, looking for a funding source for that kind of stuff. And last but not least, the cemetery fencing also. It's pretty public facing type of minor cost improvement. So we are asking a few to pitch in. We have prices for the pillars and fencing at both cemeteries. The quotes came in pretty high, so we're again looking for some other outside funding to help. Maybe I don't know. It's perhaps taking a relook at the fees for cemeteries to help try to fund that capital. That's maybe source of revenue.
Something definitely to look at, for sure.
Yeah, and then with respect to also the program, we had that gentleman come in to talk to us about helping database of the cemeteries and whatnot, standardize.
Are we still pursuing that? And we're still looking into that?
It is not included in this year's budget.
How much was it projected?
$25,000, and I forgot what the monthly cost was.
The cemetery stuff?
I think it was a little higher than that. $25,400 a month, but I think it was a little bit higher than monthly cost. And that $25,000 was everything they pitched.
And we didn't need everything they pitched, right? Or did we?
Correct.
Right, so, okay. For 25 grand, I mean, Mayor can write a PO below 25 without council's approval, Mayor. Okay, well then. I mean, I think, I just, can you keep it in there somewhere? Can you look at it again? I mean, to me, we got to do something sooner than later.
It was the emergency stormwater that we have not had reimbursed yet. So, yes.
So there's an opportunity to get that back into the budget.
Take it under consideration.
I would greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Very, very well done. Excellent.
Talking about just scraping and painting, there's like 15 of us in this room,
Excellent.
little elbow grease and
Well done. Well done. Okay. I think we left off with Mr. Courtney. Do you have anything else? Any questions for Mr. Courtney? You good? Okay, I'm sorry, Louis.
Thank you, Council President. As you know, at this time every year, this is one of our busier times. Right now, we're going through the budget process. As you can see, we had our first of 3 meetings this evening. We're actually starting our gap conversion along with our audit. We just received our initial audit request list, and we have filed for the OMAP, the Ohio Market Access Program, which attaches the state's credit rating to ours for us to get a better rate for our debt issuance that is currently on the agenda. Also, not many of you may know, but we had a person in our finance department retire. She had spent about 9 years here at the city of Kirtland, Lisa Nazik. So I just wanted to express my thank you and our gratitude for sticking with us through our data conversion and all of our busy times of year. So thank you to Lisa. That concludes my report, and I'm open to questions.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Slapnicker this evening?
Have somebody in mind to replace her yet? Or?
We are going to absorb the position.
Joe's offering some free time if you need it.
No.
Louis, could you please ensure that the documents you shared are on the website under...
Sorry, I missed the first part.
Could you please ensure the documents you shared this evening are on the website?
Absolutely,
in a draft
yes.
form?
Yes, absolutely.
Secondly, I wanted to ask if you could compile for council's edification a quarterly update over, say, the last 3 or 5 years on the number of workers in Kirtland, the number of workers outside of the Kirtland, and the number of workers who live in Kirtland. And that way we can see some type of trend line relative to our retiree base here.
Yes, I'll reach out to Rita and see what they can compile on that front.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Louis, this may not be a you question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. With regards to any of the grants that we look for as a city as a whole, is each individual department responsible for finding their own grants, or does it flow through your team? How do we manage when we're looking for grants? Like, what does that look like?
Well, I don't want to speak on behalf of everyone, but it seems to be it's within the department itself.
Okay. Have we ever, by department or as a city, reached out to the constituents and asked if there was anybody who had experience with looking for grants or writing grants that might volunteer to help some of the departments with that search? Is that something we could do?
We could look for that. I'm not sure as far as the voluntary side of it.
yeah, no, I'll speak to it right quickly. I know Mr. Finaro it does a really good job of staying in tune with grants, jumps on a lot of Teams calls, Zoom meetings around the state, things that come up. I just forwarded him something recently from Senator Serino's office related to the capital budget. And then I know Mr. Panzani, he's not here tonight, in the fire department, has done a tremendous job over the years in his grant funding searches and acquisitions, or awards, I should say. And then on the police department side, I know that over the years also received a handful. Answering your question more directly, though, I don't think we've reached out to a single community member. Obviously, we have Eddie Eckert also, who's done a good job on some of the big infrastructure stuff. But not anybody that I know. I know Councilman Schultz had us, he brought somebody in a few years ago that was not necessarily a volunteer position, but this person did immense grant writing. I think that was their job, right, in another community. It's about 3 years ago. You brought her into the to a work session. Yeah. No, you did.
No, I know. I know.
So, but she worked for another community, and then it came down to it, and that community wasn't in favor of her working to compete potentially for grants with another community that she would be employed by. Matt, it was about 3 years ago.
It will come to me.
Okay. Anyhow, so the pursuit is there. The obviously the recognition that there are, sometimes grants available. Anyone in the community that you know of personally?
Yeah, it was by no means me questioning anybody's
no. I'm
efforts
just
towards
trying to
it.
give a
It's me
broader
saying
context.
When people are looking to contribute back to the community, I think often we think that there are only certain ways that we can do that, right? Oh, they're cleaning up yards, we should go do that, right? But I think there are a number of people within the community that have skill sets that probably don't realize that we could use their skills to try to help do things like looking for grants. So I just, again, another opportunity for
No,
us to
there are
reach out
definitely
to the
people
community
in
and
the
say,
community that are great at going on the internet.
yeah, if you've got some time on your hands, we can point you in a direction and you can try to help us, find additional resources, because it seems like it's going to continue to be difficult to do that. And you guys are only the humans you are, and you're doing your full-time jobs already. And so,
Rather than put out a blanket announcement or request, if each person in this room, council, administration, if we can think of some people that might have that certain skill set that we could reach out to individually.
particular set of skills, if you will.
So now you're my grammar coach as well. Thank you.
No. It was a movie quote. Never mind.
Oh, well then, you're talking to the wrong guy.
The grammar police.
If it was made after 1987, I don't know the movie reference. Anything before that, I'm good.
We'll have a movie night. It'll be fun.
Thanks.
All right. Okay, great. Anything else for Lewis before we move on? Okay, Julia, Community Center, Senior Center.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Just a brief update. We are closing out the 2025 membership. So if anyone has not renewed their membership for the 2026 year, they will no longer receive a newsletter in the mail until they show up. So just a reminder to get in and get renewed. And it is $10 across the board, residents, non-residents. As far as for the city, I just want to get it out there as we are approaching March. Hopefully spring is right around the corner. Our city Easter egg hunt will be on March 28th from 10 to 11:30 right here at City Hall. I have nothing further and am available for questions.
Any questions?
Any further questions for Julia this evening? Julia, thank you for the update. Appreciate it. Mr. Lallo.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Just over the last few weeks, met with Lieutenant Fisher a couple different times, or discussed with him regarding civil service rules. I believe they're meeting Friday to address emergency appointments to kind of assist with staffing in the police department, provide a little more clarity to what an emergency would be, and kind of clean up the definition and assist the both departments in that realm.
Okay.
Dealing with a number of public record requests regarding various projects within the city, zoning issues or concerns as raised with various zoning cases, and then a couple different meetings regarding the sewers and alternative funding mechanisms as well. Aside from that, I have nothing else to add unless you have questions for me.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Lallo this evening? Okay, Mr. Lallo, thank you. Moving on to the mayor's report.
Thank you, Council President Fenstermaker. Just quickly, I know I said it during the finance work session or the finance committee meeting. Thanks to Mr. Slapnicker for all of his hard work putting the budget appropriation together. Amongst everything that he does here day in and day out, this is an added task of his that he does a very, very good job, as we saw before this meeting, delineating and explaining our budget, revenues, expenditures, those kinds of things. So going forward, looking forward to that ongoing discussion with council over the next couple of meetings. Also want to thank department heads for their time, commitment to the process. It's a tough process sometimes, especially when, we can't fund everything that we even need sometimes, right? So thanks to them for their patience and stick-to-itiveness. Is that a word, Julie? I'm going to check with you with all my grammar now. And then thanks to Councilman Fenstermaker Schultz I'm sorry, thanks Councilman Schultz, sure, but in this case, Fenstermaker, Hamer, and Smolik for their extra work in the committee meeting related to the service department on an early Saturday, pretty cold morning there. Great input, and I appreciate it. Eddie Eckert continues to work, and we all actually continue to work on the 306 and 6 economic development stuff. Specifically some of the sewers. I know funding towards sewers, I should say. At the P&Z meeting the other night, we had an applicant for a Circle K, if you didn't know that. Although I think with the amount of variances they had, I think they were referred back to the BZA. So the Circle K would be at the LaCursey corner, the immediate corner there. So interesting the potential development there. And then we've had some additional meetings with some of our downtown prospective developers as well, Pumpkinville. And then also Mr. Lonkar was at the P&Z meeting as well, looking to develop back behind Mr. Mitchell's property. Cluster housing, I think 10 units, was that right, Mr. Smolik, Mr. Fenstermaker?
Yeah, it was 10.
So yeah, so there's a lot going on, but I guess I'll just open it up for questions from here.
Yeah, I just want to make a statement about the P&Z meeting. We hear through social media that the city's not doing anything to help develop. Come to a planning and zoning meeting and see what's being presented and things that are being talked about. It's easy to make assumptions when you're not at the meetings, but it was to me, a very informative meeting. There's a lot of activity going on and trying to find ways. The Circle K on 6 and 306 didn't happen until they heard that we were looking at the possibility of sewers. So once they heard the possibility of sewers, Circle K now is looking at the opportunity to upgrade that corner. And they've made it very clear it's dependent on sewers going in, right? So we don't even have them in yet. We've had discussions on it, and Circle K has come back to the table and looked at purchasing that LaCursey property. We want development in Kirtland, and everybody has their opinion on what that development is. From my standpoint, everything that comes in front of the council, in front of planning and zoning, should be looked at. Okay? We have to be open-minded, and that's what I think planning and zoning has done. And I appreciate Janelle's efforts, because I know she is just getting lambasted constantly on that side of it. But there's a lot of activity going on in that department right now, and it's good activity. But it doesn't happen overnight. You don't flip a switch. So people that are around the community making comments that this administration and this council are sitting back doing nothing, they don't have any business with me. Thank you. So I said that on the mayor's report, unfortunately. Anything else?
After that, how could I do any better?
Okay, good stuff. Any questions for the mayor?
Yep. Mayor, I have a question, resident on, marching through Lewis's discussion on the roads, it appears we have about $818,000, which is less than past road programs. Has there been any discussion as to what roads, I'm going to bat for the residents on Rockwood and Ledgewood. I believe Mike Doublejack's been in here a couple times. You see we have $50,000 for under drains. Got to believe that, that might be step one of that repair there. Is there a step two with a follow-up paving program there, or is that out? I guess I'm asking for a plan. I understand the funds are tight.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, so obviously that's a step. I think step one may even be doing some cammering throughout those sanitary lines as well. But yeah, under drains obviously is a big part of any future paving and reconstruction there. So I would say, hopefully get cambered this year, and/or some under drainage, and then work toward next year, potentially getting the funding for rehab. But I can't make any promises. But I will, as always, or I shouldn't say as always, again, committed to Mr. Doublejack that night that we would do something this year to inch our way forward in that neighborhood.
Yeah, our plan shows that the road's failed. It needs to be fixed, and the fixed cost to do so is enormous. I understand that.
Yeah.
It's listed as failed, so. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Okay. No further questions. We'll move on to standing committee reports. Any updates on standing committee reports tonight?
I forwarded minutes from our past service committee, all parties involved, look them over, and then, have them set up for approval next time.
Okay. Janelle, did you get the planning and zoning STR on short-term rentals minutes from Sue?
I did.
You did? Okay.
I'll have them at the next meeting for
Excellent.
approval.
Excellent, thank you. Would you mind emailing council those minutes, those notes? Do you think they'll get it? Okay, all right. Okay, and just to reinforce, there's a Parks and Recs meeting, standing committee, 5 PM, March 2nd, right? Scott, is that one yours? Okay. Okay, I just refer, and then police and fire is April 6th at 6 PM. Those are the two we talked about that are coming up. Okay. Janelle, any correspondence? Yes. On which one? Parks and Rec? I wrote 5, is that wrong? Parks and Rec was 5.
I think it was because of having.
The finance, yeah.
At 5:30 on my notes.
5:30?
I think it was 5 because of Lewis,
Yeah,
you
'cause we
want
wanted-
6 o'clock again? Mm-hmm.
Okay, 5:30. Janelle, it's 5:30.
Okay.
We want to make sure Julie's on time.
And then.
It's all about me, Janelle.
Would that still give, that should still give Lewis enough time,
Okay.
right? Okay. I'm sorry. Janelle, any correspondence this evening?
Council President, on the correspondence side, though, I just wanted to, within the minutes, that council received the fiscal officer's certificate as part of the agenda that is required prior to its first reading.
Yes.
Can I circle back to the mayor?
Yes.
Mayor, I saw Mr. Gibbs here. I was hoping he would perhaps give us an update with the internet rollout or any preliminary design, and if there was any kind of touch base report.
You know, a month ago, I was unable to jump on the meeting, a Teams meeting, with the internet, I'll call them the internet guys, like Mr. Hamer. With Green Valley Gig. So there was a meeting related to kind of next steps, rollout, where they're at in their other communities. But truthfully, I've not gotten back from Mr. Gibbs or Mr. Finaro on the kind of recap of that meeting. So it's in order. So thank you for the reminder.
Okay. All right, moving on to public comments for matters not on the agenda. Okay. Moving on to old business. Public comments on matters of old business. Okay, moving on to public comments on agenda items of new business. Okay, moving on to the first reading, 26-R-8, a resolution amending resolution number 25-R-79 relating to establishing rules, time, and place of council meetings for the period from December 1st, 2025 through November 30th, 2026, and declaring an emergency.
Motion to waive the three readings.
Second?
Okay, Mr. Smolik with a motion to waive the 3 readings. Mr. Schultz with a second. Any discussion? Janelle, please call the roll.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Mr. Hamer.
Yes.
Mr. Scholes.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia. Yes. Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Motion to declare an emergency and adopt.
Okay, Mr. Schultz with a motion to declare emergency and adopt. Ms. Grazia with a second. Any discussion? Janelle, please call the roll.
Mr. Fenstermaker.
Yes.
Mr. Hamer.
Yes.
Mr. Scholes.
Yes.
Ms. Grazia. Yes. Mr. Smolik.
Yes.
Ms. Simons.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to 26-0-9, an ordinance amending sections 220.23 and 220.26 of the codified ordinances of the city of Kirtland regarding the rules of council and declaring an emergency. Any discussion? Okay, moving on to the first reading, 26-0-10, an ordinance providing for the issuance and sale of $4,300,000 of notes in anticipation of the issuance of bonds for the purpose of paying costs of improving streets by reconstructing, resurfacing, grading, draining, paving, and making other improvements as designated in the plat, approved or to be approved by council, and declaring an emergency. Any discussion? Okay, moving on to first reading, 26-0-11. An ordinance setting the appropriations for the year of 2026. Any discussion? Moving on to first reading, 26-R-12, resolution authorizing transfers of funds and declaring an emergency. Any discussion? Moving on to first reading of 26-0-13, an ordinance authorizing an advance of funds, repayment of advanced funds, and declaring an emergency. Any discussion? Moving on to first reading, 26-0-14, an ordinance authorizing all actions necessary to accept Northeast Ohio Public Energy Council, NOPEC, 2026 Energized Community Grant and declaring an emergency. Any discussion? Okay, moving on to council comments.
Council President, I'd just like to kind of do a public service announcement. It's my understanding that the dog park will be changing some hours and that their drive will be gated with a chain to help curb the hours before sunrise. So please be aware, visitors or, anybody who goes there, that will soon take place. Secondly, Julie brought up a great point about circling back to the taxpayer and letting them know, where there's monies are spent. Me personally, I find a great deal of value in the newsletter that the school sends out, as does the Lake County commissioners, and I wanted council to kind of give a thought if that's something that we would find of value for our taxpayers, right? Whether it's quarterly or semi-annually, to highlight, where they're spending, highlight our employees, highlight the things that are being done, right? It's a great touch point. I know past, it was hoped that it would have happened on the website. I know, Julie, you do a great job on your council webpage of doing what you can, right? But receiving something in the mail that is a nice document, that, the school's document is a glossy print. I know it's not cost-free, but I think it's well worth the money it's printed on to communicate to the taxpayers. So just food for thought, but I hope, my kids are out of school and I still receive it, and I do enjoy reading it, successes that they have and whatnot, so.
Okay. Councilman Schultz, I appreciate the comments. Now, I'm not going to beat it up too much. I already did during the mayor's report, but I do want to continue to thank, the Planning and Zoning Committee, or I should say Planning and Zoning, for all their work. And I strongly urge council who's sitting up here to make it to a Planning and Zoning Committee meeting and see what all's going on. Not committee meeting, I'm sorry. The Planning and Zoning meeting to see what's going on within the city, okay? It's easy to read minutes and try to get a pulse on it, but it's much easier to get a pulse of what's really going on with the activity if you sit through one of the meetings. So I just want to throw that out there to council, and also, again, stress, there's a lot of good activity and a lot of work being done, but it doesn't happen overnight. And no decision's a bad decision, no discussion's a bad discussion. but you have to make them. So I just want to put that out there. Thank
Mayor,
you.
are those meetings recorded for YouTube? If not, could they be?
They're not. You know, we've had this discussion before. I think to ask somebody else from the city administration or, you know, anybody else that works for the city to come in on another night.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that these meetings are once a month. We talk about these meetings and the happenings at these meetings on camera. You know, it's not about, you know, wanting to get the public more information or not. It's really more about, you know, who are we going to put that on? I don't see a need for it, personally. I think this is, you know, when special or important things or decisions have been made, you know, we often report on that stuff here at these council meetings. Just my take.
Okay. Appreciate that. Any other council comments?
Yeah, I concur with President Festermaker. I've been to probably 100 plus now of the P&Z meetings since I've been on council, and always one of the more interesting meetings to go to. Just a variety of stuff over the years you see come through there. So,
And I also think council members, the more council members attend, they can get that information out to the residents if they call and ask questions, or if they, you know, see them around town too. So, you know, so you're not obligated to go to the meetings, but it's where the sausage is made, really, as they say in those planning and zoning meetings.
It's a good point. Good discussion from everybody on it. Where the sausage was made. Yeah, that was a good. All right. Good stuff. Okay. Any other continuing concerns? Last opportunity for the public. Okay, if not, looking for